All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Wednesday evening. I say fine, it's just started raining. It's nice today. I forgot my shake. I'm doing that now. I'm a bit late and all over the place at the moment. I have today done a minimal amount of modelling. We saw Mikey off about midday after a good chinwag this morning. What a legend of a human being. Thank you so much for being so incredibly supportive last night with Mikey. He's a hero. Please make sure you check out Hellstorm if you haven't already. What a legend. I then finished building this guy. What a fucking model, by the way. Finished building this guy today. Based. Need to do a little bit of cleaning up of the base before I can airbrush probably on Friday. Start getting some colours down. Right. And today we officially found out that the channel has made it. If you had to tell me one thing that would mean the channel's made it, what would it be?
Beware the hope of Joel. Last night he hoped I got a perfect ice cream. I went for ice cream today. I got a double scoop for the price of a single. Winner. I then got home and found I'd caught Nurgle's plague. Thanks, Joe.
See, deal with the devil, Grimdark Mark. Deal with the devil, and you never know what you can end up with. Thank you so much for the 20, man. What a fucking hero. I shouldn't laugh so hard, but I'm going to forget this by the time I see Joe tomorrow, because I literally forget everything I did 6 hours ago. That is the risk of trying to tempt the hope of Joe. It's because you feel like you went for an ice cream on purpose, right? Christ Sanders got it immediately. How do you know when a channel's made it? You receive an email offering you a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. I feel like this is karma, because it's what I made the stream title or the video title about with the video with Kirioth, right? And Kirioth said on the stream, if you watch the Kirioth saga, which is a long one, it's 3 hours, you watch that saga, it specifically says that every time they send him a sponsorship opportunity, he replies with here's a Warlord Titan or something like that, like buy me the Titan and I'll do the sponsorship. But the Titan's obviously exceptionally expensive. So I just said to him then, I said, John, I've made it. I finally made it. And he was like, you got the email. I was like, I got the email. He said, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I think I might send them a link, but not to a Titan. Instead, I might send them a link to the Weta Workshop Abaddon. And he was like, do it. And then he said, I don't know how I'd feel if they said yes. So yeah, we have the we have the Raid Shadow Legend. I don't intend to do a Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship. That being said, if I went back to them and was like $2.5 grand and they said yes, well, that's more than any stream makes. So I might be tempted to be like, right, chat, suck it up for an hour. We've got a Raid sponsorship coming. But the likelihood is that's never going to happen, because I expect what they do is canvas smaller streamers for lower ad spend. And it would take a lot of money, I think, for me to sell my soul to Raid Shadow Legends to make some money on the channel. But that's how we know we've made it. Anyway, today's topic. I denied, and you probably not Gandalf. No, I've bought Gandalf. Gandalf's cheaper. Gandalf is a cost, Chrysander, where Raid would probably say yes. The idea is for them not to easily say yes. The idea is for them to be like, fuck off. Okay, right. So today's topic I'm denied about. You probably noticed I scheduled the stream really, really late. There's a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, because I couldn't decide on the topic. Secondly, because I had a meeting that I ran over. Thirdly, was because we had family pizza tonight. I treated myself, which I'm actually really happy about. Also, oh, you've moved it. Good. Also, this is the first time ever that I've had a pizza and I don't feel bloated and awful.
Oh, that's good.
So it's amazing what having a good diet for the rest of the month does when you then have the one bad piece of food. Like, I don't feel shitty. Which is good. So I am denied about tonight's topic, and I had a couple of ideas. I didn't really know what to talk about. I kind of want to talk about AOS, but I didn't really know what to talk about, and I also don't want to bore people. And obviously Games Workshop recently put out an article. Now, we spoke briefly about the absolute abortion that is the Cotex model on Monday. We'll look at that a bit more in a brief moment, but he's horrific. He's in the article, but we're going to go through the article now, because I got asked some questions on, yes, Domino's Alex, I got asked some questions on Monday about this article, and I didn't want to answer because I didn't know what I could and couldn't say, because I hadn't read the article. Reading the article is boring content on stream, I'm aware, but we're going to skim through it anyway, because I need to be clear about what can and can't be said, okay? That's all I'm going to say, right? So, I'm going to put it up, and then we're going to go through it. It's an interesting article. This is the redacted Codex on the timeline, and I feel like this is a massive disappointment for most people who was quite excited about the redacted Codex. This ain't it. Games Workshop's 40k studio, comparatively with the AOS studio we're having, this is a fucking bad release after Skaven Tide. There's just no doubt about it. You release the Skaven Tide launch box with the new AOS models that have been showcased and the ones that have come out in Skaven Tide, with the new Spearhead rulebook, with the new AOS rulebook, with the way the AOS rules are written and the way the AOS books work and the way the AOS indexes work, and you throw this out as the 40k studio after the fact. This book is fucking dreadful. I know you like your clicky Codex. It's really hard when I'm chatting away. Anyway, Codex Imperial Agents. Unleash the might of the Emperor's Inquisition. Sick Monkey, thank you for the one gifted. While billion... We don't care about this, right? This is relatively irrelevant. This is just, like, spiel. Few law citizens would admit to having ever heard of the Inquisition, let alone witness its agents in action. But those who have known to fear their invisible hand... This as a concept, I'm not against it as a concept, right? I'm not against it as a concept at all at the moment. I remember the old Demon Hunters Codex. Like, this could be good. This could be good. But let's see. These Inquisitors rarely take to the field in person, but should the need arise, they can draft entire armies into their service. Some latch onto larger Imperial forces and operate from the sidelines, while others assemble companies of auxiliary troops into cohesive armies, and both approaches can be found in the new Codex Imperial Agents. Right? By the way, considering how shit the model is, the artwork here, beautiful artwork, incredible artwork, right? This means that Codex Imperial Agents can be used in two distinct ways: to add specialist inquisitorial aid to your army, or build a dedicated inquisitorial force of your own. Those familiar with their current rules will recognise the assigned agent's army rule, which allows a certain number of units from the book to be added to other Imperium armies. This roster has been expanded to help fill out your Ordo Xenos, Malleus and Hereticus presence, with Deathwatch kill teams joining the retinue units. The new Codex also features Watchmasters, Corvus Blackstars and Watch Captain Artemis returning to the range after an absence, so you can include a full Deathwatch contingent in any Imperium army. Complete with leaders, squads and transports, those with full Deathwatch Space Marine armies needn't worry. They can add the Deathwatch specific units to a Space Marine army of black-clad units like Intercessors and Terminators, melding the strong foundations and detachments of Codex Space Marines with themed specialists from Codex Imperial Agents. Grey Knight Terminators and Battle Sister squads show up in the new Requisitioned category. Priests and Navigators are joining the party too to provide guidance in both spiritual and a very literal sense. Assigned army agents. If your army faction is agents of the Imperium, then in the select detachment rule step you can select one of the available detachments from the book as normal. If your army faction is not agents of the Imperium, but every model in your army has the Imperium keyword, you can include agents of the Imperium units in your army even if they do not have the faction keyword you selected in the select army faction step. In this case, the maximum number of agents of the Imperium units you can include in your army depends on the battle size as shown below. We all play 2,000 points, 2 retinue units, 2 character units, 1 requisitioned unit. Note that you can include agents of the Imperium dedicated transport units in such an army as normal, but each unit must start the battle with 1 or more units embarked within it, or it can be deployed for that battle and will count as having been destroyed. So if you're playing 2,000 points of strike force, you can take 2 retinue units, right? We've been told up here, Deathwatch kill teams become retinue units. You can take 2 character units, including Inquisitors, and you can take a requisitioned unit, including, for example, Grey Knight Terminators. So you could take your army of, let's say, Astra Militarum. You can add 2 Deathwatch kill teams, you can add an Inquisitor, and you can add a unit of Grey Knight Terminators, and that becomes a legal Imperium force. Cool. This, good. Good choices.
Recon they could be smart enough to check out a shite release to push EOS.
Thank you for the 5, dude. I don't know. I legitimately believe, if I'm honest with you, that anybody who worked on this has gone, this is fucking cool. I don't think anybody in Games Workshop ever wants to put out a bad release. I genuinely believe that. Everyone can comment on how evil the company is all they want. I genuinely believe that no one at Workshop wants to put out a bad product, and anybody who's involved in putting out a product thinks they put out something incredible, right? So this is all well and good. There's a couple of points to mention here, right? It features Watchmasters, Corvus Black Stars, Deathwatch kill teams joining retinue units of Watch Captain Artemis. So you can include a full Deathwatch contingent in the Imperial Army, complete with leaders, squads, and transports. Those with full Deathwatch Space Marine armies, the people that have already got full Deathwatch Space Marine armies, needn't worry. They can add the Deathwatch specific units to a Space Marine army of black-clad units. So if you have a full Deathwatch army, it sounds like, according to this, you do not get a Deathwatch Codex. You have to have a Space Marine Codex, and you have to have an Imperial Agents Army Codex. You have to have both to actually run Deathwatch. You essentially have to run a Space Marine detachment with 2 retinues, 2 characters, and 1 requisitioned unit. Not sure how I feel about that. Only for people that currently have full Deathwatch armies. If you're a person that already has, for example, an Astra Militarum army, this is cool as shit, right? Being able to add a unit of Grey Knight Terminators, a Deathwatch kill team, and an Inquisitor to your Astra Militarum army is cool as shit, right? That's really cool, okay? Should you instead wish to fill an entire army of Imperial Agents, the Codex offers 4 new detachments which add their own detachment rules, stratagems, and enhancements to the mix, allowing you to support a full Inquisitorial force with no limitations on the number of units you can take. 3 of these detachments are themed around the major Inquisitorial Ordos, while the 4th represents those forces with significant Imperial Navy backing. The Imperialis Fleet detachment can call upon a wide variety of support options to redeploy, avoid harm, and fight in close quarters. It's a great way to experience the entire spectrum of an Imperial Agents army, as it has relatively few restrictions on who can be targeted by its stratagems. This way, assassins can fight alongside rogue traders, Inquisitors, and more as you wish, while Navy breaches and Arbites enforcers single out critical objectives to secure at all costs. Again, I think narratively this is fun as shit, right? I do genuinely think this could be fun as shit. The idea of Navy breaches alongside assassins, alongside rogue traders and Inquisitors sounds super cool. Whether the army is going to be any good is a different question, but it sounds super cool, right? Imperial's Fleet at all costs detachment rule. At the start of your command phase, you can select one of the following to apply. Eliminate at all costs. Select one enemy unit on the battlefield until the start of the next command phase. Each time an agent of the Imperial model from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, add 1 to the hit roll. Acquire at all costs. Select one objective marker on the battlefield until the start of the next command phase, while an agent of the Imperial unit from your army is within range of that objective marker. Improve the leadership and objective control characteristics by 1. And models have the 5+ invuln. Cool army rule. This is quite cool, right? Inquisitors themselves are versatile leaders who can support a wide range of unit types, and their blessed wardings can now grant a 6+ invulnerable save to their unit in addition to the command point regenerating power of the Rosette ability. I mean, a 6+ invulnerable is a 6+. It's better than no invulnerable, but it's not amazing. Each time you target this model with a stratagem, roll a d6 on a 3+, you gain 1 CP. Not bad, that's decent. It's not just rules that are new though. Those who read Arcs of Omen, the Lion may remember a certain Inquisitor getting back in action after the mess that went down around Wormwood. Inquisitor Lord Torquemada Cotiers has a vast network of agents to do his bidding, but when matters require the personal touch of his massive demon hammer, he takes the field with a huge suit of gleaming power armor. This is a swing and a miss. This is a swing and a miss. This is a fucking awful model. I don't know what they were thinking. He's got the wrong trousers on. He literally looks like he's come out of Wallace and fucking Gromit. Cotiers is bold. Somehow now he's got a full head of hair. It's lazy Stormcast armor kind of applied to a human, and here's a double-headed eagle, right? I also saw... Oh, hang on.
It's going to be an inevitable mess, but as a lover of the Inquisition, I'm excited for the idea. Gonna get to use my models like Hector Rex, RIP.
From a narrative standpoint, Sean, this is quite cool. But it's only kind of cool. It's only really kind of cool as per what you can take rather than what it can do, right? Rather than it actually being a cool detachment that does cool shit. It's just cool because of what you can take in an army and the possible Imperium deployment that you can do that isn't just a standard Space Marine army or a standard Guard army. That's it, right? So this looks awful. The person who sculpted his face was either half asleep, on drugs, or actually blind. The person who did the legs, if it was a different person, just, I don't know what, I think they zoomed in on their CAD file and forgot to zoom back out again. It's bad. It's really bad. This is a dreadful, dreadful model, right? And I didn't think about this until I saw a reel today on Instagram from Guy, who's of Midwinter Minis fame. Guy runs a channel called Midwinter Minis, a significantly bigger channel than this one. And he said, because a lot of people still just use the old model, and he says, what's the betting that this second model has rules so that you can't use the current model? You need to use this one with 2 models. It'd be interesting to see what they do there. I haven't even thought about that, but rules might say you need an Eagle model, which would suck. Alongside him, 3D Battleforce boxes will get you started with a diverse array of units suitable for the Ordo Xenos, Ordo Malleus, and Ordo Hereticus. They're great ways to start out with the thematic detachments in Codex Imperial Agents, and Codex himself is available with the first Ordo Malleus box, right? And I've seen some hate for these, and I don't agree. If you have a full Deathwatch army, some of these are probably bad. If you're getting started, if you want to grab Imperial Agents and get started, these boxes are cool as shit. I'll be interested to see their price point. I suspect they're going to be around the £125 mark because that's what we typically see these size boxes as. And in that regard, I'm not sure how much that's value points per pound wise, but they're cool. So the first Battleforce, you have a Corvus Blackstar, you have a Deathwatch kill team, you have a Navigator, I think that is, you have Draxia, and this is just cool Imperial shit, right? Just cool Gothic Imperial shit. I'm a fan. We've got the Ordo Malleus box, which if we zoom in a little bit, will it let me zoom in a bit? It will. Good. We've got the Ordo Malleus box here, which has got Cotiers in his dumb power armor. You've got 5 Grey Knight Terminators. A cool box. There is a Chimera in there. There's an Assassin at the back there. You've got the Flame Dude there, which I thought was supposed to be a Chaos model. And then you've got the Ordo Hereticus, which has got some Sisters of Battle. It's got Greyfax in there. They're cool boxes. They are cool boxes, right? That's just a fact, right? Regardless whether you send an entire army of agents out into the field or add some support to your favourite Imperial faction, you'll be able to engage in secretive shadow operations with in-depth Crusade rules available to any Crusade force that includes even a single agent of the Imperium character. There's a lot to cover in there, and the rules for extremely thematic fun, so we'll return to shadow operations at a later date. Finally, don't worry. Right, here's another thing. Don't worry, Grey Knight players. This is still only the first chance you'll have to send your Terminators off on a demon hunting crusade. There will be a dedicated Grey Knights Codex on the way next year, but there are still a few factions to get through before the Knights of Titan start to peek their shiny backy plate over the horizon, right? So that's just Grey Knight players, which does look like it means Deathwatch players are not going to have the opportunity to have their own Codex. It means Deathwatch players just have Codex Imperial Agents, which also means Deathwatch players possibly will need to have Codex Space Marines to be able to run a Deathwatch army, which means Deathwatch players can only use Codex Space Marine detachments to run pure full Deathwatch. Because I believe in an Imperial Agents army, you probably aren't, if we're thinking about specific Deathwatch units, it says kill teams. Maybe there'll be battle line. I can't see them being battle line in Imperial Agents, right? So kill teams will be 3. I'm not sure how many points they'll get to, but let's suggest 300 points. So it's 900 points. Corvus Black Stars, you could take 3, maybe. You could take 3 Inquisitors and a Watch Captain and an Artemis, and I don't know how much you're gonna. I think you're gonna struggle to do 2,000 points of pure Deathwatch using Imperial Agents, which means you need a Space Marines Codex. So I think that Deathwatch players, pure Deathwatch players here, I think they got a hard deal. I think they got a bad deal. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the 1 gifted. Have I said that already? There's only 3 unhappy Deathwatch people so far, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think Deathwatch people got a bad deal here. I want to know what you guys think anyway. I've seen chat's been moving once I've been reading. I want to know what you guys think, because I think Deathwatch got a hard deal. I think if you're someone like Space Marines or Imperial Guards or arguably Sisters, I feel like you got a relatively good deal, but add some of these things in. That being said, we haven't seen their data sheets yet, so it'll be interesting to see what some of these Inquisitors and some of these things do when you add it into your army. But I think you're probably quite happy on the whole there. Even Admech can add in 5 Grey Knight Terminators. Admech can add in a Deathwatch kill team and an Inquisitor or an Assassin, Imperial Agents Assassin, right? Deathwatch Dark Angels. I don't know if that'll be a thing. But I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Have you already started writing down for hat tricks?
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna let that go.
No, it's my job.
What do you think about it, Luce?
I think the same as you.
Yeah? It's a wise choice. It's a wise choice. There are different types of kill team. That'll be interesting. So what does the article say? Boop, boop, boop. Here's the other part, TJ, if I'm honest with you. I don't know Deathwatch very well because it's never been an army that's really interested me. The roster has been expanded to help fall out your Ordo, Xenos, Manus, and Heritage presence with Deathwatch kill teams, plural, joining the retinue units. Okay, maybe they'll be fine. I feel like as a Deathwatch player though, who's had a Deathwatch dedicated codex for perhaps the last 2 editions, you can type, but when it's like a small sentence, it's a little tap 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 whilst I'm talking, then it's fine. But when it's like a full paragraph, I start tuning into it. I'm trying to concentrate and talk to. I can't.
I was responding to Stu Will about his shirt, so it was work related.
Was it now?
Yes.
I'll allow it. They're going to get Harlequined. Kinda, yeah. I think that's what's going on, Brian. They kind of get Harlequin. The problem is pure Deathwatch is constantly unbalanced, unplayed, and unprofitable. This army is the island of misbegotten toys with a codex. Kinda, yeah. And I'm glad it's in one. Like, if you think about the fact that it's got assassins, it's got inquisitors, it's got Deathwatch kill teams, etc., etc., and it's all in one book. At least it's all in one book. Deathwatch is never meant to be its own entire army. They aren't a chapter either. Cullen, you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong there at all. But here's the problem. This is what's going on at the moment with Games Workshop. Over years, I say Games Workshop, the 40k team, the 40k studio specifically, over the recent years, they have done this with expansion for certain things. So Codex Harlequins, for the longest time, became...
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you for the poo, Sean. They said, okay, Harlequins can be its own standalone codex. Deathwatch can be its own standalone codex. So there was a couple of factions, and now they're going, we're going to fold them back in now, which would be fine if people hadn't gone out and bought full 2,000-3,000 points of an individual army, and they go, well, now my army's kind of unplayable because you folded it back into the parent codex, which was your decision from previous. I don't think it's bad to streamline more. I think streamlining is better from a rules perspective, but it's definitely going to create a feels bad when people spy complete factions and lots of models. This is a physical product with a high buy-in value. So when you do that and then you go, here's a change to all the rules, all those things that you've bought are invalidated or you can't use half of them. I don't know. It's dodgy. I think it's dodgy. I think that's always going to run a risk of upsetting people. Maybe I'm wrong. Hands up if you're a Deathwatch player and you're happy with what you've seen. I'm interested, genuinely. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't play Deathwatch, but I looked at that and was like, that's a rough deal. Grey Knights still get their own codex and Deathwatch don't. With all the changes to Wargear customization, doesn't Deathwatch lose its flavour? That'd be very interesting to see how they run those kill teams, Sean. 100%. Sisters and Grey Knights should also have been rolled into this. Really? I feel like Sisters definitely could be its own army, and so could Grey Knights. But I'm not entirely wrong. I think that becomes too big a codex, though. Edition Workshop don't give a toss. You are assuming they care. It depends at what level we're talking, Kai. I believe the studios, the rules developers, the product developers, I believe, without any reasonable doubt, having spent a reasonable amount of time in most of their company, I believe that they actually care. I 100% believe that they actually care. The higher management people and the bean counters, the accountants of the world, I think they care significantly less, and they just care about people buying stuff. And I do believe, and this is not, this isn't quotable necessarily, but I do believe there's a disconnect between the people at a lower level and the people at the higher level. We did the Peachy Saga. If you haven't watched the Peachy Saga, watch the Peachy Saga. There is moments that he talks about where you can tell that people in certain positions and certain roles in that business just really want to put out cool shit and have everybody enjoy the game that they love. And then there's other people that are... Why are you Morse coding? HELP?
No. Ding! I got my Morse code alphabet.
Big bad account that suck the creativity out of our creators. Kinda, yeah. Kinda. EW care immensely about the shareholders, the rest, etc. I.e. the consumer they couldn't give a toss about. Just my opinion. Again, like I don't know, middle to upper management. I don't disagree with you, Kai. 100% disagree with you. The product developers, the people that are writing the people that are running the studios, writing the rules, designing the models, etc. They do care. They do. I spent time with them, a lot of time with them. They really fucking care. When we spent time with the AOS team, it was very apparent that the AOS team really fucking love AOS. They just want to make a good product. And they desperately want AOS to become as popular as 40k. They want as many people to enjoy this game as possible. They want as many people to enjoy AOS as enjoys 40k. They were really keen to get AOSs to be as big as 40k and as fun as 40k and as enjoyed as 40k. I think when you go upper middle to upper management, I think then your statement becomes very true. 100% think your statement becomes very true. And I think that between the lower level and the upper level there is a disconnect. But hey, I don't know. I spent enough time in the business at the lower levels. You never spend any time as creators. We never get to talk to middle, upper middle or upper management. We don't get to talk to those people. They don't deal with us. That's not what happens. So the people that we deal with are.
Here's the question. Do we know that Deathwatch are limited to the numbers stated for Imperial agents? Are we jumping to conclusions from one article?
What do you mean, Sean? What do you mean? So the article, as it says, right? If you are adding Imperial agents into another army, you are limited based on size to 2 retinue, 2 character, and 1 requisition unit, or whatever it's called, right? So it would seem that it says you have to add them to your black-clad intercessors, outriders, etc. So it would look like you have to have a Space Marine army whereby you can then ally in 2 kill teams, 2 characters, Deathwatch characters, and then the requisition unit looks like Sisters or Grey Knights. So the only way to go pure Deathwatch will be to sit within this codex, and that will then very much depend on how many Deathwatch units are in the book. If they've got all of the different kill teams in the book still, if basically they've taken all the data sheets out of old Deathwatch and dumped it into the codex, then they'll be fine. But then you only have access to a few detachments that might not be very good. And then if you want to take Space Marine detachments because they're better, you then limit the amount of pure Deathwatch units you can take. Like, I feel like that's quite clear from what's written in the article, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, I don't disagree, but since when does she low levels direct a company? They just do the do. So my opinion has merit. The people who direct and navigate Games Workshop at the behest of shareholders don't care. 100%, absolutely, completely agree. I do. I think, you know, we can go. You can go wider than Games Workshop with this, right? This is a wider problem of capitalism in general, without going too philosophical and deep into the problems of the world. The wider issue with capitalism in general is that people at the high levels of the company care more about the opinions of shareholders than they do their customers, because they need short term to keep the shareholders happy. But what they don't realise is if they keep the customers happy, then they can keep the shareholders happy long term. Everyone becomes quite short-sighted. It's all about short-term profit, and that's a problem. It's a problem with capitalism, and it's about maximising profit margin, often at the customer's expense in terms of service, in order to maximise profit, in order to maximise the money back in the shareholder's pocket, right? So I don't. That's a whole bigger. That's not just fucking Games Workshop. That's fucking UK rail industry. There's so many things you can apply that to. Read the article, don't give a toss. If I want a pure Deathwatch army at a tournament, I'm going to do it. If it's legal.
Shall we crowdfund and buy out the shareholders?
Do you see? Have you seen what it's worth? Right, TJ. Right, hang on. Games. There's a thing. Games Workshop highest shareholders, right? Largest shareholders include SMCWX, Small Cap World Fund Inc., Class A. Does it tell me Vanguard Total Internal Stock Index Fund Investor? Who owns Games Workshop shares? So Vanguard Group own the highest number of shares at 5%. They own 1.65 million shares, right? At 5%, okay? If I go onto my...
That was an accident.
She's warming up that bell. She wants more hat tricks, team. She wants more hat tricks. We need more gifteds. That's struggling. Where is it? Where's my fucking trading app?
Is
that I
there a
have?
maximum that you're allowed to own?
I don't know. There's a maximum I'm allowed to own, and it's called What I Can Afford. Finance. Here it is. Finance. Trading app. Good. Okay. So, Vanguard Group. Stu Will, thank you for 10 gifted. You beautiful fucking human. Oh, it needs me to log in. Log in. Good. It's me. You'll know I'll find a way. Well, the thing is with tournaments, Cass, unfortunately for you, there is no find a way. The list is legal or it isn't. And if it's not legal, you can't take it. And there is no arguing there. So, the current GW share price is £100 and 90 pence, right? So if we take, excuse me, a calculator, we take £100 and 90 pence, and we times it by Vanguard's shares, 1,656,805. We would only need to... TJ, we only need to crowdfund £167,171,624.50, and we can do it. That's it. If we can crowdfund 168 million quid, we can buy Games Workshop, chat. Who's in? Who's in? There's 163 of us now, so if each of us give $1 million, we'll do it.
We can do it. you gotta have a dream. You gotta have a goal.
No, GW share is not 10,000. It's listed in pence, believe it or not. So the GW share price, which is currently listed as 10,090, that's in pence. So it's £100 and 90 pence is the share price.
Sean.
Someone call John McCardle. He's good for it. What does Sean say? I missed it. I'm not on live chat. Oh no, that is Sean. Different Sean. Okay, I got it. Good. Okay. Done. Let's go on it. Yeah. It's a little bit chime in. That's only 5% yet, but they're the lead shareholders. They're the lead shareholders. They have the highest number of shares. The second highest number of shares is Fidelity Management and Research, who have 4.33%. They have a further 1.4 million shares. So between them, they've got 3 million shares. So we'd only have to go to another, 200 million. We need to raise 200 million then between us, right? Aberdeen are then a third with 3.99% of the shareholdings. They've got 1.3 million shares, and Schroeder Investment Management have got 3.4% of the shareholdings with 1.1 million shares. So between there's 5.5 million shares between them. That would give us 10, 14, 17.5% of the company. I could chuck in $1 million.
Everybody check down the back of the sofa. We'll see how much we can get.
How do we crowdfund fucking 250 million quid so we can... No. Yeah, 250 million quid.
Do you have to put a mission statement when you crowdfund?
It's called insanity.
Having a dog called Shark at the beach may have been a mistake.
Maybe. What would your mission statement be? If you did have to do a mission statement, what would it be for getting everyone to crowdfund?
I don't know. Fuck it, we only live once.
Yeah, that's short and sweet. I'd remember that.
No, you're wrong. 24.1 million shares outstanding. That means to purchase all share stock, you need. Yeah, but I wasn't purchasing all share stock. I was purchasing just those of the lead shareholders. But you are right. You are right. You do need 2.5 billion if you wanted to purchase all share stock.
That's mad.
That's the value of the company.
That's crazy.
24 mil outstanding. Mission statement: save 40k. Save 40k by spending 40 mil. Yeah. Make Warhammer great again.
That's it. Whoever can come up with the best mission statement wins.
I'll do the shit pose, TJ. I'll do the pose. Luce can pretend to shoot my ear off with a water pistol. The $1 trillion bill.
Okay.
Quick, call it Mr. Burt. Sorry, Goblin Horde. Been here all day, not made a bean.
I think it'd be funnier if I used the sucker bow and arrow right next to your head.
Just want to buy out all the investment companies. What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. Only need 51%. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, chat.
Panicking.
So if Kai's saying we need 2.5 billion to do all 100%, then it means we need about 1.3 billion ish, 1.4 billion to do 51%, right? We can crowdfund 1.4 billion pounds, chat. I mean, we can't get past 13 members, but we can crowdfund 1.4 billion pounds.
Lucky number 13.
Just stop GW. That'd be a weird campaign to do across the M25, wouldn't it? Can we get a t-shirt of you doing that? I don't dare. I don't dare. You'd have to get them to agree to sell too. Yeah, that might be more of a problem. What's your credentials? I run a YouTube channel. I've called you all cunts a few times. Sold to the man in black.
Joe's OnlyFans page and some ladies of horizontal refreshment. Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, exactly. We've got those ladies available to us. We just need to pimp them. I feel like they're all independent operatives right now.
Well, they might be contractors as well. So.
I don't think they're contractors. I don't know what gives it away, but I don't think they're contractors, babe. I'll be
They could be
honest.
contracting something.
Wall Street Gold right here, yeah. Oh, amazing. There we go. This stream's diverted already. We're supposed to be talking about the Deathwatch book, right? There's only 13 people who are unhappy Deathwatch people. Maybe I should change it to the number of happy Deathwatch people. You would need about... I know what we can do. There we go, we've changed it. That's better. Miasma, welcome to Skulltier. What a fucking legend. Exclamation mark Discord, get yourself in. What are your credentials? I'm not a moron. Sold. Well, if only they'd had that same vetting process before Escapade, right? The thing is, right, as a company, I'm going to go out on a limb here. We focus on the behavior, I think, of the 40k world, right? I have been so happy in hobby recently because of the little old thing called Age of Sigmar. Miasma, thank you so much for 5 gifted, you legend. Oh, hang on, I didn't. When the ticket, this is wrong now. I need to reset the tracker. I think it's 19.
Oh,
yeah.
long time lurker. Thought I'd best become a member.
What a beautiful human being. Thank you so
Aw.
much. I appreciate you. What a legend. And you didn't just become a member, you gifted 5 as well. What a hero. If everyone right now gifts 5, we'll smash through our target and we'll be 0.00001% of the way towards buying Games Workshop. Mordy Hammer, thank you for 10 gifted. What fucking heroes. Pop in now, Luce. Pop in.
Oh, wait, let me try again.
You don't need a finger. You don't need a finger. It's the face you pull when you do that. They can't see the face. They can't see the face of the slightly confused fish.
You make me look like a goldfish.
Yeah. You're amazing, Mordy Hammer. Thank you for 10 gifted. A legend up to 29 of the finest members. You beautiful human beings. So yeah, we talk about Games Workshop don't hate their audience. They fucking release shit and the rules are crap and the rules are blah 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 blah. Right? We do this a lot. I think for me personally, I've said this a billion times now. Like I used to say I said this a million times. Now I've literally said a billion times, right? But I am having fun playing 40k only because I get to play with your Joes and your Broms and your Paddies and stuff like that. I think if I didn't get to play with those people, I'm excited about the Hellstorm event. Sorry, I'm excited about the Great Hall event hosted by Hellstorm at the end of the month. then at the end of next month, because I'm going to go and hang out with Joe for a weekend, and I know a bunch of you are coming. You can still get tickets, by the way. Mikey has told me there's still tickets available on hellstormwargaming.co.uk for the event at the end of August. Joe and I are going. There's a bunch of people from the Great Hall that are going. It's going to be a good get-together. We'll probably organise to go out for some food on Saturday night, all that kind of stuff, because why not? It'd be a laugh, right? It'd be great. And I'm excited for it for that social aspect. And Mikey kind of sold me on it yesterday. He's like, I don't want to run a tournament. I want to run an event. I would like to be in a place where I'm running a sort of event where an individual can go who knows no one and can leave having made friends with people.
That sounds like a great haul.
It's a lovely... Yeah, so So Mikey's more competitive focused than I am, but mine and his ethos on community are similar.
Very,
to be
very
fair.
similar.
100% very similar.
Lovely.
Right, welcoming groups. Everyone hangs out. We all go for a beer. We all get some food together. It's about more than just winning games of Warhammer. It's about going and enjoying yourself. So that's one of the reasons why I've bought a ticket to that event. But I'm also terrified of the event because I don't like try-hard tournament people. And I know Mikey's got big cash prizes on, and I don't like try-hard tournament games because they're just not fun, and it's very sweaty, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put all my stuff in the middle, and you can kill it, or I don't care. But I'm talking about the 40k scene because that's what Joe and I have known and been into for the last fucking years, right? The channel started on 40k. It's only really ever covered 40k. And I think when we go ham on Games Workshop's behavior as a company, I think we are pigeonholed into just thinking about what's happened in the 40k space rather than the wider Games Workshop, right? If we think about the AOS release and the way they've handled business as part of the AOS release, yes, they've moved stuff to Legends, but they've given you 12 months notice and given you rule support inside the app and at competitive match play level for the next 12 months. So you've got time to use your models before you get rid of them. If you buy them knowing they're going to go to Legends rather than I've bought it on Monday. Oh, by the way, tomorrow you can't use it anymore, right? They're just the way they've handled things. The whole way they've handled things as a subsection of that business is better. People that play Warcry fucking love Warcry. People that play Kill Team fucking love Kill Team. People that play Blood Bowl fucking love Blood Bowl. The Heresy players really enjoy Heresy. Old World is in a bit of a sticky place. I've heard that people that play Old World love the Old World rule set, but they're a bit disenfranchised with the speed in which the races are happening and the fact that they're all very old models, etc. And they're not releasing new kits for everything. But they've given you Old World because that's what you wanted. So we focus on Games Workshop being this evil entity because of our experience as a 40k community. And actually, if we look at the wider business, is it such a toxically negative business? They do some silly things. They release Xbox controllers for £125 because it's got a fucking Space Marine sticker on it. It's not even an Xbox Elite controller. You can buy an Xbox Elite controller for £120. They charge you £125 for a standard Xbox controller with a fucking Space Marine sticker on, right? So they do shitty things as a business. But those shitty things, in my experience at least so far, seem to all focus and center around what is their biggest cash cow, which is Warhammer 40k. And when anything Warhammer 40k is released, Abaddon, Weta Workshop, $1,800, right? Now, I know Weta are the best in the world, but I then found that they do a full, it's a 6th scale, sorry, it's not a full size, it's smaller than Abaddon. It's a 6th scale Gandalf. They do him for $400 from Lord of the Rings, which is a bigger franchise than Warhammer 40k. It is. But they do an Abaddon, although Abaddon's limited edition, do Abaddon at $1,800. Right? I feel like the second that Games Workshop puts the 40k logo, not the AOS logo, not the Old World logo, not the Heresy, the second they put the 40k logo on, they go, price goes up 200%. And when we talk about them being evil bastards, I just think it's kind of mostly 40k. I don't know. I'm saying this, by the way. I'm saying this very loosely speaking because I'm new to the AOS world. AOS players who may have been playing AOS for the last 3 editions were like, no, hang on, they do it to us too. And maybe I'm being naive. Like Mikey used the words yesterday, drinking the Kool-Aid, right? I call it different. I say we're in the honeymoon period. Joe and I are in the AOS honeymoon period. Brand new editions come out. It's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. For Joe and I, it's brand new and completely different because it's AOS, not 40k. The model range is beautiful. We've been looking for a reason to get into. We've literally been looking for a reason and excuse to get into AOS for the last year and a half. They gave us that excuse with 4th edition. We're 100% in the honeymoon period. And there's every possibility that in 12 months' time we're going, that AOS team actually not too dissimilar from the 40k team, in which case it might be a wider endemic company issue. But right now, at least, I'm going, how is one team getting it so much better than the other? They are greedy bastards. As a company, I don't necessarily disagree with you. As a company, especially when it's linked to the 40k IP. It seems to be linked to 40k IP, rip-off. Rip-off. Right? Knowing Games Workshop already working on 11th, probably taking notes for 12. Should try do something like announcing that a faction will be absorbed in a bigger faction by next edition. They should let us know early, but they won't because they'll sell it to the last possible day. Man, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. We're on 35 people. Thank you so much. Didn't realize it's SN's 10th anniversary raid. I can't raid him. I'm live now. Plus, if we raided him with 156 people, we get nosebleed. I'm having doubts for Inari being a mixed match from Aldari and Dal Eldar.
Dark Elder?
Dark, yeah?
L and K are right next to each other on the keyboard.
Fuck it, I'm starving. I need a pizza. We had pizza today, Kai. I cheated today. I had bad food today. Do you think you would have shifted so much of the channel time to AOS if you had lost enough 40k?
My aim in life is to piss off at least one person a day. So far I am 4.5 years ahead of schedule. Smiley face.
Amazing. That's an interesting question, Gaz. It's a very interesting question, to be honest with you. I don't know is the honest answer. So I've said this for the last fucking 4 years plus. Right? I've always been more of a fantasy setting fan than I have sci-fi. I would always pick Lord of the Rings over Star Wars. That's a me preference, right? And we can widen that out. I much prefer fantasy-based settings, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff, Witcher, over Star Trek, Star Wars, that kind of shit. That's just always been my preference. I have wanted to get into Age of Sigmar for a very, very, very long time. In terms of content, it's been evident for a while, at least, that AOS content, historically, hasn't done anywhere near as well as 40k content. It's just a fact, right? So there's been a bit of trepidation there in terms of do or don't I switch over and add some extra AOS content in there and bring in another gaming system, because it could be putting a lot of time and effort into another system that ultimately doesn't do particularly well in terms of views, engagement, revenue, etc. And so it doesn't make sense. We might as well stick to the one that's making us money. Also, I was enjoying 40k, so it was less of a difficult decision. But I've always wanted to chuck time into AOS. I feel like if I would have done. I would have put a lot of time into AOS with 4th edition anyway, because this was the first. We've got a studio, we've got space for more armies. We also had other restrictive factors, right? So outside of 40k being 40k and AOS being AOS, we had other restrictive factors. We had the garage. We ran out of space. All of our projects were in boxes in my spare room because we literally ran out of space. It got to a point where if Joe wanted to bring a new army to play on the stream, he was taking an army home at the end of one night to bring another one back, and he was storing armies in his garage an hour and 10 minutes away because we literally had no space. So we couldn't add a fucking another game system with a whole other bunch of terrain and armies because we just didn't have the space. So the studio opened up the opportunity to bring in another game system, more terrain, more battle mats, more armies, right? So there's a number of like contributing factors that came to us bringing AOS in as a gaming system, and then back in probably January, Games Workshop said to us, AOS 4 is coming, are you interested? And we were like, this is literally the perfect time for us to get into it now. Fresh rule set, indexed armies, we can learn AOS literally from scratch, because it doesn't matter what you knew about 3rd edition, 2nd edition, 1st edition, we can literally learn it from scratch. We've got the space, we've got more time, this is now the perfect opportunity. That being said, 40k is also in a bit of a bad place in my opinion. The game now is the best balanced 40k we've had in a very long time, significantly better than the launch of 10th edition, but the rules are all over the place. And I personally feel 40k as a game is bland. If you compare the game to the narrative, the game is bland. It's boring. And I think that I think I always wanted to do a thing like AOS Tuesdays and be like Tuesdays is AOS content. I wanted to do that for a long time. I think the state of 40k isn't the reason why I did it, but I think it made the decision easier. Does that make sense? Hopefully that kind of answers your question, sort of. 40k lore is why I play the game. 40k lore is why I love 40k. I don't like sci-fi, but I love 40k lore. It's the only sci-fi setting that I've really been dragged into, and I love it. 100%. Absolutely. I find I really struggle with the AOS setting because the Stormcast just look like Space Marines with hammers. I don't... One Glamoring, I think that was probably the case for the first edition stuff. I think the newer Stormcast stuff doesn't feel like that anymore for me. I felt they've really kind of developed their own little narrative now, and I quite like it. Give the Space Wolves back their Primarch. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they got their Primarchs back.
Hopefully this codex doesn't come out before list submission for the GT I planned on attending. Deathwatch is my only battle-ready army. Now I might get stuck dropping.
When's your GT? Lilithana, when's your GT? Can you tell me when your GT is? Wacky missions like the Catastrophe mission pack make 40k interesting. Wacky missions is part of what we need. 40k is fantasy with guns and lasers, kinda, yeah. But then you can say about Star Wars, Mordy Hammer. You can say Star Wars is fantasy with guns and lasers, quite literally. But I don't hate Star Wars, but I don't like it like I like Lord of the Rings, and I definitely don't like Star Wars like I like 40k. Thank you for the $10, by the way. You're a legend. Still on 35 members, chat. Just 15 to get us to halfway. Who will be those people? Cass is saying he'll give 20 if I raid Bardo. I'm not doing it. We raid too many people all the time. 24th and 25th of August.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, there's a reason I asked a question. I was looking for an answer and I had a reference. You might be okay. You might be okay. GW needs to do more with making cool battles from the lore playable. Things like Gaz vs. Yarrick Rip or Battle of Ultramar, so on. That's the cool shit. And this is the thing. I said this forever, right? Their argument is, well, you can do what you want. You can make up your own missions. But the players want to be given things, scenarios to play out, I think. So you can literally make up any scenario you want. Literally make up any scenario you want. We could, Joe and I could get two armies ready. Luce could come in and be like, this is your mission.
Oh!
But you could, literally, you could, 100% you could, right? This is your mission. It's not an actual mission. This is what you've got to achieve tonight. Right? That's perfect. You can do that. It's 40k. You do what you fucking want. Do whatever you want. But if we do that on content, it typically never does so well because people don't like the fact that it's unstructured and we're trying to make something balanced. It's presumed when it comes out of GW, it's presumed that there's a degree of balance to it. It's presumed that there's a degree of fairness to it. And so people are more inclined to watch it as legitimate ways of playing because the rule sets come out of Games Workshop. I feel like people want that rule set to come out of Games Workshop. It's like taking a game of Monopoly when we sit around with the family and me going, we're not going to use those rules. Here's the rules we're going to use. Everyone's going to go, no, fuck off. That's not how we've been told to play it. Right?
Be finished before 10. That's your mission. Rom can't play then.
Rom's playing tomorrow night, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to take the leash off of Joe for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I reckon.
Why?
Because one, right? I'm supposed to go to the gym on Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I'd like to not go as a zombie. And secondly, right, today, Brom was like, I was like, Brom, do you want to play or do you want me to play? What do you want to do tomorrow? He's like, oh, I can play. It'll either be Orcs, Ultramarines, or Custodes. Because he played Space Wolves last week. I was like, why Custodes? You've given up on Custodes. I haven't given up on Custodes. It's like, you haven't played them since the new Codex came out. I was like, you can't just play them because they're good now. Well, yeah, they're all right now, so I might use them. I'm like, right, Jay. Leash is off. He's only prepared to play the good army. It's time to table him.
Were the Custodes the ones that I played?
Yes.
At Dempsey Con?
Yes.
What was the thing about them that made them silly?
Nothing made them silly. Why?
There was something about them, something happening that made them unbeatable or broken, as you said.
Has Luz played Spearhead yet, just to give it a go? No, not yet. I don't know if she wants to either.
What's Spearhead?
Spearhead is the coffee table version of Age of Sigmar. It's their new, when you get used to the rules, you can play it in under an hour. Limited models, easy rules, game mode that they brought out to give people that taste of crack into the game.
Oh.
It's a great game as well. Spearhead is a great game.
That sounds so accessible.
It's very accessible.
For somebody who I think I had a stroke when you were trying to teach me 40k, that I was twitching.
When you get your head round the core mechanics of AOS, which I think was difficult for us because coming from 40k, when you get your head around the core mechanics of AOS, the way they've built it and the reference sheets they've made is stunning as a game. It's so good. Like, oh, I have a hero phase. What can I do in my hero? This is big AOS. This isn't even Spearhead. Because what they've done is they've gone, here's the core game mechanics, right? And then they've gone, here's the advanced game mechanics. So hero phase, magic, casting spells, doing this, reactions. And they've gone for Spearhead. We've removed all of the advanced stuff. Don't do any of that. Don't worry about that complicated shit. Don't worry about it. It's not what Spearhead's about. You just play the core game rules. So you learn the core game rules, and you can play Spearhead over and over and over again playing the core game rules. And once you know the core game rules, they can go, do you want to play Big Boy OS now? You already know the core rules. You've just got to learn the advanced stuff. And then when you go to the advanced stuff, they go, okay, what can I do in my hero phase? Well, the hero phase is gold. And any ability on any unit that you can do in your hero phase is gold. So you know you can do it in that phase. It's color coordinated. It's stunning. It's so fucking good. It's so good. The people that made it, the guy who's built this, who used to be a software developer for some big game companies, is a fucking genius. Absolute genius.
I might look at that. That sounds like music to my ears. Something that we played under an hour. You had me at under an hour.
So when I played Spearhead for the first time ever, when Joe and I went to the zoo, I played another guy who'd played it once before. We finished our game in an hour and a half. Right? He played once before. I'd never played it before. An hour and a half.
90 minutes is bigger than under 6.
But we'd never played before. I said to you, when you get used to the game, you can play it in under an hour. I firmly believe that Joe and I could probably get it to 45 to 50 minutes a game. Firmly believe that.
So what would you do on a stream night? Would you do a game and then...
Wouldn't stream it.
Oh, okay.
The only way I'd stream it is if we were to do a mini tournament. So we could get me, Joe, John, Paddy in the studio.
Yeah. For
sake of argument, right? And then you could do 2 people playing against each other, winner, that's an hour. 2 people playing together, winner, that's an hour. 2 winners play each other, winner. There you go. 3 hours done. Content.
And how would you turn the table over, or
it's so easy.
Would you just use?
It's for 4 to 6 pieces of terrain. They supply it all in the box. They tell you where to put it, and they give you a cardboard battle map. And you go, and you put it down. And it says, "Put the terrain here." Done. Go. It's fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. Good night, everyone. Have a good one. Night, Kai. Night, Kai. Kill team games are 20 to 30 minutes. If you want short, easy games that are fun, that's the one. I mean, maybe. I personally think kill teams are fucking shit system, but I know people that like kill team, so when did we stop raiding channels? I didn't stop raiding channels. I literally raided people last week. We do a lot of raiding and we don't get a lot of raided. Sorry for my ignorance, what does TTFN mean? Who wrote was it you that wrote TTFN?
No.
Oh.
It's at Drew.
Loose Lands AOS. We could, but so I'm thinking about doing one of those little, because we haven't done any Spearhead yet. But Joe and I think we can film Spearhead and we can edit it into a 45-minute episode, which means it's lunch break consumable. Mm-hmm. If you have a lunch hour, you can consume an episode of Spearhead. But I don't know if it's worth, at the moment, I'm unsure whether it's worth the time and effort to make it, because if we do that, we launch it and 3 people watch, it's not worth it. But you don't know till you try it, so. Like, I just can't get into the fantasy aspects of AOS. Like what, Brian? What are you struggling with, dude? What are you struggling with? AJ and Easton, by the way, thank you for the 1 gifted memberships. You're amazing. You got us up to 37 people. You absolute heroes. Kill team strategy is way too complicated for what it is. Yeah, I found the same, Ben. I too am off now. Night escapade. Night, dude. Thanks for hanging out. Does Lucy allow her hands to be on camera? Well, if she's going to play Spearhead, I would imagine it'll be here on the table to start with, not on stream. Great whole lunch saga featuring Spearhead.
Why my hands, Gaz?
I don't know. Sentient rats and vampires just don't appeal to me. That's fair.
Gassy. 45-minute lunch break.
That's fair, Brian. But the thing is, it's no different. Like, Blood Angels have got vampire teeth, and then you've got sentient fucking goblins and bugs, and I don't know. I don't see the difference really, but settings are important to people, and there are 100% people that are like, I love sci-fi settings, I hate fantasy settings, and I've got like, there's no point trying to play the game of AOS is beautiful. But I say this about any gaming system. I include 40k in this. If you don't like the narrative setting, where you can't get your head in the narrative setting space, I wouldn't force yourself to play the game, because you're not going to enjoy it, because you're not invested in that space. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like rats and vampires, AOS really probably isn't the game for you, despite the fact that I think the game is so much better than 40k. Furry vampires at that. If the models looked better, I would have made that my army. The models are beautiful for Soulblight. Only hands GW debacle. Leaving Tuesdays because it's not my game and focus on talking head streams as well. Only watch streams or games and have meat in. You've started drinking you lot again, haven't you? You're missing words and grammar out again. I guess sentient fungal orcs and space vampires are much better. I mean, but some people prefer sci-fi over fantasy, right? Some people prefer fantasy over sci-fi. It is what it is. Old one has better vampires. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. AOS model range, best model range of any gaming system ever. For the most part. Not every single one, but for the most part. I am so close to making a Kado Ezekiel themed Soulblight army. Sounds cool. When do we stop drinking? That's fair. Okay, I'll take that one. But yes, Deathwatch. I didn't see how many Deathwatch people were actually happy with the change. I tell you what, I'll put it this way, right? After reading that article, if I feel like if I had a 100% Deathwatch army, I would be worried. I would be worried. I feel like that article doesn't fill me with hope as a Deathwatch player. Right? What about Necromunda? Is that a game you will try out? I'd like to. I don't know how good a content it will make. But yeah, if I was a pure Deathwatch player, I would be concerned after reading that article. If I was any other Imperium player, I think I'd be okay with it. I think it's cool. I feel like for any other Imperium player, the concept of you buy one Codex. So here's the thing, right? This is the other thing as well. Let's flip on its head a little bit. Let's put a positive spin on, okay? Let's put a positive spin on for a moment. If they'd have released a Imperial Agents Codex that said that you could take Grey Knight Terminators or that you could take Sisters that weren't in the book, so you had to buy a Grey Knight book or buy a Sisters book, they could have done that. They could. That's a thing that Games Workshop wouldn't. It's not out of their league to go. Here we are. This is where we're going to be a bit shitty and make you buy even more books just to run a single unit. They haven't done that. They've gone Imperial Agents, one bolt-on book for any Imperial faction. I think that's a positive. Right? John Mercado! You sexual human. We've been struggling tonight, mate. Thank you for 20 gifted memberships. You beautiful, beautiful human. Thank you, John. You fucking legend for 20 gifted. Super chats and memberships have been weak this last week. which is fine. You guys are incredible. You smash it so frequently, but it's always a pleasure to see you, sir. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for the one gifted as well. You're amazing humans. That puts us up to like a less disastrous number, 58. Thank you so much. Less disastrous is better than disastrous, right? Always the facts. Less disastrous is always better than disastrous. So thank you, John, for 20 gifted. You're amazing. Are you doing an Orruk army? I have built some Orruks. I don't care for painting them right now because I've got my Sylvaneth. I'm literally painting my Sylvaneth. You're in Germany. What are you doing in Germany, dude? Literally painting my Sylvaneth at the moment, right? So I'm enjoying them. I'm building Nighthaunt. We started with the small one. So, you know, we're building Nighthaunt. I have, I really want to do Lumineth because they're fucking gorgeous. So at the moment, Oryx and Crawlboys aren't high up on my list of priority. But I love the Oryx models. No, the Crawlboy models. Stu, thank you for 10 more gifted. Oh, fucking hell, it's going loose. It's happening. We're 32 away. What are you doing in Germany, John? You fucking Americans would invade anyway, wouldn't you? A Spearhead Great Hall boot camp weekend would be good. That'd be fucking incredible. That's a great idea.
Would that be like a tournament boot camp weekend?
Kind of, yeah. Boot camps are...
Dearest Liam, I was devastated when my Mikey joke fell flat. I said he was studying to be a meester as he is a carbon copy, including accent, of Samwell Tarly in Game of Thrones.
So
look him up.
I know who Samwell Tarly is, Martin. The problem is you wrote a word like Meister, right? And then Joe read it out like she just did, Meester, because Joe can't read, right? So he the problem with jokes, if you're gonna sit right, Martin, it's established. I like you. We're friends, right? I am yet to send you a date so we can go shooting and drinking, but I am in fact going to send you that date. I've been working out some free weekends in the coming months, all right? I just need to remember to message you. So I appreciate all your super chatting and you're a legend. However, there is a little, I need to, for all of you actually, for all 150 people watching, I need to issue you words of caution, right? When Brom or Joe are producing, if you super chat anything remotely close to clever, in the way in which they read it out, it's going to get lost on us up on the table. Because they struggle with words. For most of the super chats that come through, you would think that for both Brom and Joe, English was a second language. And they're having to translate it as they read it. Remember I told you taking the spoiled kids to see Taylor Swift? You went to Germany for that!
Taylor Swift!
You didn't take Luce, she's now gutted.
I bet it was great. Was it great?
Has he done it yet? Stop popping up Warhammer YouTube and you can. I mean, I'd rather he didn't stop popping up Warhammer YouTube. Carl, if I'm being honest with you, mate. Unless you want to take up the John torch. If you buy my majority shares of Games Workshop, would that mean I can quit my job and work at GW? If we own the shares, Sam, of course. Of course. Man, you got to get that oil. Of course you do, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, so boot camp weekends, right? You turn up. So the concept of a boot camp weekend is you buy a ticket and you turn up and you get when you arrive you get given a box.
Yeah,
Someone tell John McCardle that pineapple does belong on pizza.
It doesn't, Stu. It doesn't.
I like pineapple on pizza.
I was very proud of my youngest today. Because he was like, what pizza do you want? Ham and cheese. I was like, and they only really have ham and pineapple or Hawaiian. I was like, do you want ham and pineapple? He's like, yeah, take the pineapple off, add bacon. I was like, you fucking lad.
So then order a New Yorker and take the mushrooms off, because then you can put cheese on for free because you're swapping out.
Who's very happy with his pizza.
Okay.
So on a boot camp weekend, you turn up. Do I have one? Here we go. So for boot camp weekend, Spearhead.
No, 9 negative. No, pineapple on pizza.
Have you ever super chat? So I watch a guy called Fixate, right? Who plays video games. Thank you, John, for the 10. I play a guy called Fixate, right? And he has the L gang, and I love the L gang. If you super chat with L's, both like lowercase, uppercase, lots of lower together, lots of upper together, a couple of upper, some more lower, the way they read it out is fucking hilarious. Lots of L's. It's fucking funny. The first time I heard it, I looked up, I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized that's a thing that his audience do. I'm not saying you should copy it, but if you ever do that to someone, it's bloody brilliant. So your boot camp, right? You pay a ticket. It's normally more expensive because you turn up and then someone will give you a box. You pick your faction beforehand. You get this is a Vanguard box, right?
Yeah.
They stopped calling it them because no one likes that word. And they changed it to Spearhead. Sensible.
Why? What's wrong with that word? What's wrong with the word, babe?
No one likes to be associated with that word. So you get this box, and then over the course of the weekend, they'll encourage you to build it. They give you the opportunity to start painting it. You get to learn the game and play with it. Yeah. That's the boot camp weekend. If you want to spend your whole weekend just building and painting your box, you can. If you want to just get it built and start playing straight away with no painted, you can. It's fine. But that's what boot camps are. Turn up with a brand new box that you've never played before, learn to play the game. I think it's cool as shit. I think it's
like
a great
really
idea.
Nice weekend.
Yeah, there was a company. So Gaz was telling me there was another company that did it before. I don't remember the name of the company. I'm sure he'll tell me. Was it Beasts of War, Gaz, that used to do it? Was it them? Oh, I've ruined up my organising now. I'm going to tidy it again. I think it was Beasts of War used to do it. So it's a thing that another company's done before, and it sounded like an incredible weekend to go and do that and learn a new game or get a new box, which I'm into. You can't just get pizza with just ham. I mean, you can make your own, but she read that fast. Yeah. Try the L's one day. Trust me. Try the L's one day. Meat and cheese are the only things that should go on the top of a pizza. What's your favourite pizza?
I don't have a favourite.
Do you not?
No, I see pizza as a scraps meal. Make your pizza base. So do your dough, make that. And then if you have something like a few rashers of bacon, but not enough to feed 3 people, or 1 chicken breast, which really isn't enough for 3, cook it off, put it on a pizza, because the pizza's enough for 3 if you have a bit of a salad with it or something. So for me, pizza is a scrappy meal.
I don't know. I've got a few favorites. I like a good pepperoni.
Yeah,
The American hot one that they do in Domino's is nice with pepperoni and jalapeno peppers. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult to pick. For me, so any pizza I have, it just tastes of pizza.
Yeah.
Because it's all got the same tomato sauce on it and the same mozzarella. There's no real unique flavours unless you do a scrappy one and you make it yourself. Because otherwise it just tastes of pizza. Miscellaneous pizza.
Now on tabletop. Yes, us at Beasts of War. Yeah, Beasts of War. We did it for Infinity Bolt Action and Moat. I always forget because of Dragons that you're part of on tabletop. Always forget. Sorry, dude. Yeah, those people. But I do like to try and give credit where it's due, right? I feel like it's always important to give credit where it's due. Like, I can't say that boot camp is a me idea because it's absolutely not. Beasts of War did it first.
Lord Billy. Great. Now I'm ordering Domino's.
I haven't had Domino's for fucking 3 or 4 months, and today we've had a busy few weeks, right? So we had Big Bad John come down, which was fucking incredible. We had the AOS launch streams to do. We've had some other stuff going on behind the scenes. We had Mikey planned in, and I looked at the calendar a few weeks ago. I was like, because I've also upped, and this is definitely a slightly personal problem, not something that first world problems, right? This is what this is. But I've upped my gym regime to 4 a week because I'm trying to get in shape and get fit and healthy and all that kind of stuff. So I looked at the coming month and I was like, this is a busy period. It's gonna be a lot of work, and it has been a ton of work. We've started our AOS streams. We've launched that for the first time ever. We had John in for the week. We played AOS for the first time ever. Heresy for the first time ever. We had Mikey come down. Mikey sat today in this chair chat. We chatted until about 11:30, I reckon it was, roughly midday-ish, around then. And off he went. It was beautiful to have him here. And he left, and I don't know what it is. I messaged the Thanes afterwards, but as he left, this just weight went, oh, you've done the busy bit. The busy bit's done.
Yeah.
You can chill a little bit for a week.
It's nice to conclude it with somebody as easy as Mikey.
Oh, Mikey was a fucking dream.
That in itself can be a,
Yeah, he's a dream to be around. I'm glad that he was the bit at the end. Yeah. He's a dream to be around. But your body definitely gets to the point where you hit the point where you're like, and out of the busy period, You go. So I was like, Wednesdays is my day to cook, and I was like, I sat here literally like this. I was like, I'm fucking exhausted, right? You don't need the L. You don't need the E's, John. That's just L's, mate. Not L as in EL. L as in just the letter.
Somebody, I can't remember who it was. They said they're trying to do the L super chat, but it won't let them. So maybe that was the only way he could do it.
Brian, thank you for the 5 gifted. Marvin, thank you. Jake, thank you for the 1 gifted. Go back to bed, you lunatic.
It was Alex trying to do the L chat, and it's not letting me super chat it.
I don't know why.
Maybe that's.
It's just the letter L's. I mean, I appreciate the $50, mate, but just the letter L is all you need. YouTube blocks everything else. How the hell do they get away with it on Fix's stream then?
Maybe he does things.
That's interesting.
He pleases the YouTube gods.
That's interesting.
In ways.
Okay. Thank you for the gifted people as well. Brian, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. John, thank you for the $50. You're amazing. We are 26 away. That says 73. We're actually 26 away from smashing the target. You're amazing. Yeah, so my body was like, ugh, I'm done. I said in the things, I was like, I'm fucking knackered right now. And then, funny old thing, like, this is when I know that Joe's felt the same way. Because Joe messaged me at like 10 o'clock or something. Okay, so she did part of it. She did do part of it, to be fair. She did do part of it. How I know that it's been a hard graft is because Joe messaged me at like 10 o'clock. Joe normally messaged me. Normally what happens is I get Stars managed it. Normally what happens is I get a message from Joe on Instagram of some shit reel at 8 o'clock in the morning whilst he's having his morning shit, right? Because I know what he's like, or he's on the school run or something. And I got a message from him at 10 o'clock. He was like, I've just got out of bed.
Aww.
So I was like, Joe's felt it too. Joe's felt the grind over the course of the last month.
But it's a good project to have. And
69 gifted. Gidgety. Okay,
Gidgety?
then now seriously.
What's Gidgety? Thank you, Smarvin. I know what you meant, by the way. But we obviously finalised it this week with a big old deep clean on Monday, Mikey and Tuesday and today, and then there we go. Perfect, beautiful, amazing. So it's been a slog, but it's been worth it. Thank you for the gift. We're on she's lying. We're on 74. We're 26 away from target chat with 11 minutes to go.
it's like what I was saying at dinner time. When you have a huge project on that's
Basically, when you put loads of the same letters next to each other, the AI chatbot gets confused with it and struggles to read it out. It's fucking amazing. I love it. Thank you, Star, for the 2.
Oh, Alex has done it.
Alex has got one through. Let's go. Thank you, people. It will keep you. L gang will keep you. It will keep you entertained for ages. John's like, how are people doing that?
John's getting all jealous.
John's got FOMO.
Yeah, it's like I was saying at dinner that if you imagine your brain is a sponge that's scrumpled up in your fist, when you have a project on, your brain gets more.
Let's go.
It's great, isn't it?
When the project comes to a finish, it's like your brain's then released and the sponge can come back to its normal spongy self. But your brain has to be able to do that so that you can then metabolize the next load of chaos and navigate through that. If you're constantly the whole all work and no play, it's a real thing.
We've got possibly, okay, I'll level with all 106 of you now. We've got possibly a full day of content tomorrow. We might have to cancel the Liam and Joe show because Joe has finally got himself a doctor's appointment at 11 o'clock in the morning because I think he's got a hernia.
Oh my God, what did you do to him on Monday?
I think he's had a hernia for about 3 weeks and he's not gone to the doctors.
No.
And yesterday, no, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I think it was, me and Paddy were finally like, you need to go to the doctors.
Is it true that men are more likely to get hernias than women?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Something to do with like the
But his is the same. Like he's describing the exact same as my brother's got, who's got a hernia, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Joe, and he was like, oh, I might try and get a doctor's appointment. I got the gym tomorrow. And me and Paddy were like, no, you don't go to the gym with a hernia, you fucking buffoon. What you do with the hernia is you go to the doctors, right? So he messaged me today. He's like, I've got a doctor's appointment for 11 o'clock. This is Joe, by the way. This is Joe's dedication to the channel, by the way. Sometimes I know out of me and him, he's probably your favourite, right? But sometimes I feel like people don't appreciate him enough. So I was like, it's okay. I can cancel the Liam and Joe show. It's not a problem. And he was like, why would you cancel the Liam and Joe show?
Because you'll be at the doctor's.
You got the doctors at 11 o'clock for a hernia, Joe. He's like, yeah, NHS appointments are 15 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll pack the car up, I'll drive to my doctor's appointment, I'll do the appointment for 15 minutes, I'll leave at 11:15, I'll get to the studio for like 12:30. I was like, I'll be in time for the Liam and Joe show. I was like, it's okay though. If you want me to cancel the show, Joe, I can do like my own show or something. Like I can just do a hobby stream from at home. I can't. I haven't got the other camera, but I could do it. It's fine. And he's like,
la li lula lo la li lula lo la li lula lo.
I don't know why I've started this. It was funny to start with. So yeah, so bloody hell, Monster was keeping Joe's body together.
It's your fault.
Amazing. I'm happy to do the legwork for boot camp if we could find out if there are enough people interested. That'd be interesting. We should do that we should try it with Thanes first, Gaz, I reckon.
Yeah.
We should try it. I think that's a Thanes trial first. That'd be good. Not gonna lie, that's really funny. It's fucking great. The L's, but again, I like to give out credit where it's due, right? It came from Fix8 stream, who streams Call of Duty typically, mostly, right? Chat, come on, we have got 7. You're so close to the goal. If 5 people give 5 and 1 person gives 1, we're so close to the goal. If you don't know about La Li Lu Li Lo, then you missed a pretty good game. I don't know about that. Lord Billy, thank you for 20 gifts. I was like, 5 people give 5 and we can do it. Lord Billy was like, nah, fuck this, dick out. Bang. 20 gifted. Thank you so much, Lord Billy, for 20 gifted. You fucking hero. You and John. Ugh, beautiful human beings. You're amazing, amazing people. Thank you so much.
So is he going to then gently make his way over for...
Well, he'll just drive over. He's in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's gonna have his doctor's appointment. I'm sorry I'm broke at the moment. Don't be sorry if you're broke, Matt. You're here and you're a member and you're watching. It's still amazing, by the way. For reference to anyone who doesn't gift, you're still amazing humans. I need to be very clear, right? So yeah, so he'll still come, like he can still do his streaming and stuff, but he was going to the gym and not going to the doctors whilst going, I've got this bulge here. Like it sounds like a hernia.
Is a hernia always at the front?
No.
And
No.
is it always on your lower abs?
I don't know that one. It's not always at the front. I don't know that much.
I feel like if this is a really common problem for men, or men are more likely, why don't you all know about it?
Oh, I know Metal Gear Solid. Huh?
If hernias are a problem predominantly for men, because it's like I've already forgotten his name. Sorry, I'm tired. Benjamin. It's because of how or where your testicles descend. Why don't more of you know about it? Because checking for breast cancer is drummed into girls, although men can get breast cancer as well. Why don't you guys know about hernias?
Adrian, thank you for 5 gifted. We're gonna do it. I don't know because I have heard that men are more susceptible to them. Someone in chat earlier said it's where the testicles descend is where there's a higher risk of it.
Oh, chat, did you just witness that?
Witness.
I'm not listening. Thank you, chat. I needed the witness. I just said what you said.
But I've never heard of them being... I've never known a person have a hernia. I've heard of people having hernias, but I've never known a person have a hernia. So I don't know how common it is. So although someone in chat says that's the reason, I don't know. I didn't think it was a common problem. It could be more common than women, but still not be common, right?
Yeah.
So I've never heard... Have you ever heard of anyone having a hernia?
Yeah, I've heard loads of people
Have you? Yeah, like, legitimately?
I always assumed it was heavily associated with people who did heavy lifting for a job or went to the gym maybe a bit too much. Definitely something of physical Like if you're quite physical in your life, you're more likely to have a hernia. I didn't know it was actually a male.
Evan says only one kind of hernia involves that area, and then Mandy says hernias that could also be umbilical, not just the groin area. Awful game, thank you for the one gifted.
It's not just stomach, it's groin.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the definition of a hernia is, but it's something protruding through something else, isn't it? Skippy, thank you for 5 more gifted. You're a legend as well. Oh, we did it. We smashed target. You fucking people are amazing. Love you, right? Fucking Jesus Christ. I've got one. So I did, but I've heard of hernias. I've heard of people that have known people that have had hernias and such has got a hernia. I typically have only ever heard of it in older people that have had them.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But I've never heard, but then my brother had one, like we were driving up to the football a month and a half, 2 months ago, right? We were driving up to the football and he was like, I've got this lump and my belly button is now an outie instead of an illy. I was like, Ash, that sounds like a hernia.
Do you know what? When you were like, Ash has got a hernia, I felt like going, can't be. That's insinuating he does something for a living.
Well, I was like, sounds like a hernia. And so he went to the doctor the Wednesday after, confirmed hernia. And then Joe was describing, I was like, you've described exactly, like, never heard it, never had anyone in my life, never had anyone who's had this problem before. 2 people in quick succession in the space of like 2 months.
I've got it. It's the air algorithms feeding it to you. Somebody near you has a hernia. Now the air algorithms, people around you have hernias now.
You're
Don't go near Liam.
You're sounding like one of those birds aren't real people, all right?
It's catching. Don't go near Liam.
My son was born with a herniated belly button, didn't cause him any trouble, and went down over time. I mean, my brother's hernia is a proper hernia, as far as I'm aware.
Not because the other 4 aren't proper.
No, as in like it's one of those where it's like they need to put it back in jobs.
So if Joe then has a bulge as well, that needs putting. That should be on the inside.
If he's got a proper hernia. Like this
Way loyal lo la li li lo li lulu lo li la li la lo la la beef hooked.
Beef hooked.
Thank you so much, just you, you're a hero. I don't know. It's hard, right? It's
Born with a hernia, scar right next to my sack. Also born with half a middle toe. Must have been hungry.
It was just absorbing body part.
we all learned some more about Alex today. Thank you, Alex.
We're a sharing channel.
Thank you, Alex. I've heard of people being born with hernias before. I don't think I've heard often of people being born with half a middle toe. Cool. I have a herniated disc in my back.
Thane's boot camp. The trial sounds like it's on. Also my old mechanics tutor drummed testicle checking into the lads with putting oil rags in pockets.
I don't know how that would work, but so confession time. I've never had any of that stuff drummed into me at all.
Any of the
testicle checking for lumps, hernia checking and knowing what the signs are. I only know when Ash described what was going on, and I was like, it sounds like it could be a hernia. It's only because I loosely know what a hernia is.
I have no idea what a hernia is.
It's where it's to do with stomach wall and lining, and then there's a perforation and something like some of the stomach comes through. I can't remember the exact detail. Someone who knows more about this sort of stuff than me, explain what an actual hernia is in the.
So, I learnt a really interesting fact ages ago. There was a breast cancer campaign as a poster on the doctor's wall, and doctors were running late, so you read the posters, and it was a really interesting statistic. It was something like, if we take 10 women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer, something like 8 of those women, it wasn't diagnosed by them, it was diagnosed by their sexual partner. I say diagnosed, they found it. And of those sexual partners, a high number of those were one-night stands. So it was a one-night stand that texted the next day and said, just to let you know, I think I felt something last night. Imagine that.
Do you not think that's weird though? Right? Let's tumble down this rabbit hole for a moment.
Let me just finish. Imagine a guy that you were like, yeah, he was nice. And then he actually ends up potentially saving your life because you don't check, but somebody else felt it.
Yeah, which is amazing.
It is amazing.
So that's amazing. I'm going to flip the story a little bit.
Of course
okay, right. When part of your organ pokes through a muscle, basically, intestines popping through abdominal lining. There you go, that's what a hernia is, right? So your lining gets thin, and then it breaks through the lining.
Does it hurt the whole time?
Ash explained it like a dull ache, and then it hurt when he did certain things a bit more.
Ooh.
So.
Blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, so your story, right, is amazing. That a potential stranger has just saved her from this lump, right? Let me flip the story a little bit, which is where I find this a bit weird, okay? One night standing, man starts groping, feels weird lump.
Yeah.
That is weird enough that he's prepared to text her the next day. But rather than stopping, thinking, this chick might have breast cancer, this is serious, I need to tell her I'm feeling something not right and go, look, I'm really sorry. Did you know that's there? What he's done is gone, no, what I'll do is I'll complete the deed.
The lump's still going to be there in half an hour.
I feel, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I'm the sort of person that if I felt that, I'd be in the headspace of going, I can't carry on right now. She might have cancer. Not like I'm worried I'm going to catch it, but like, that's now what's on my mind. My mind is now, this chick could have cancer. I can't, we're not even going to get to half mast.
Maybe they were like, it's not the right time to say something because this is a really vulnerable
I'm just
moment. She's naked, and I don't want to bring the mood down. We've had a really lovely evening, and then maybe in the morning she breaks off and he goes, "Wow, 2 feet in now." I might as well tell you.
This scenario is getting quite convoluted.
I was going to bring it up over coffee and be all delicate and lovely about it, but I need you to know. And now we're not going to see each other. I need you to know.
I don't know. I just feel like my headspace will be like, I'm sorry, I can't. All I'm thinking about now is that this is a serious issue, and so I'm going to struggle to continue. I need to tell you. I'm just throwing.
Challenge accepted. The next time, if I feel something, I'm going to go, stop everything. Stop. Did you know, babe? There's something going on down there.
I'll be like, yes. I've told you about the massacre that was my vasectomy. It's like a grave site down there.
God! I think we've all heard it too much.
Fucking hell, chat. I've seen what some of you have. If she does have cancer, you should give her a good time, says Mandy. Might be the last one she gets. Fucking Jesus Christ. Right, okay, anyway. You people have been incredible yet again. You are amazing. You are a fantastic audience. I love you very dearly. We're so grateful. Luce and I, and Joe for that matter. Joe talks about it quite a lot. I don't think you lot as a chat realise how much we talk about you when the camera goes off. We're like, fucking great chat. Best chat. Amazing chat. So frequently. You guys are incredible. You've pulled through for us again. We smashed 105 members. Thank you so much. You're amazing. We've smashed the super chat target that we normally have. You're amazing. We did it last night as well. Incredible. We're on the home stretch for July, and we're pulling it up to last month just about. So thank you so much, people. We really sincerely appreciate it. The amount of times I go camera off and Lucia sits there and goes, best chat.
Best chat.
Best chat. And I couldn't agree more. You people are amazing. Joe was literally laughing so hard he couldn't read super chats last night because of what you were saying in the whole Mikey meme. Who, by the way, can we just say, who fucking took it well and played along.
Mikey's great.
What a legend, right? What a legend. Anyway, it's that time of the night that all 150 of you have been waiting for. It is Loose Fact time. It's time for a fact. If you're new here, it's very, very simple. Luce is going to read us her facts from her incredible random book of facts. It says 360. This is how reliable the book is, right? It says 365 awesome random uses facts, but it's missing one. That's how reliable this fact is. So you have to decide whether it's true or false, whether it's loose or loose. If it's true, it's loose, spelt as per her name, L-U-C-E. If it's bullshit, it's loose, spelt as in like a loose vagina, L-O-O-S-E. Okay? That's the two that we have for loose facts. But we now have to wait for Gaz's super chat to come through first. That's how you keep us here, by the way, is a slow trickle of super chats and gifted memberships. Especially if it's like 10 or more gifted, because then we have to wait for them to, and then I can't go. I haven't had a loose fact for a while. We get one now. Last night was so funny. Last night was great. You people are amazing. We're gonna raid Mikey on Friday, by the way. Save a few pennies. Save.
Scariest moment of my life was before my hernia op. The nurse pulled out the cheapest razor I have ever seen and told me she would be shaving my dry. She proceeded to hack at it like a Witcher extra.
Why do they do it dry?
When I went in for my vasectomy, guys, they said to me, "We prefer you to come in clean shaven. If you don't, we can do it." I was like, And after the job he did with the scalpel, I'm fucking glad I didn't let them loose with a razor as well.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
I still remember having contractions with Ben, calling in the labour line and going, I'm coming in, but I'm just going to nip in the shower. And they were like, no, we can do it. No, I'll be 10 minutes in the shower and then we're coming in.
Yeah. So we're going to do loose fact. One thing I'm going to ask you people to do, one thing I'm going to ask all 150 of you to do, right? And I mean this sincerely as well. It's not like me to say this, but I'd love for every single one of you to pocket one gifted membership and hold it back, right? And hold it back for Friday. What we're going to do on Friday is a nice gesture for Mikey, who came all the way down for us. Is we're going to raid him when the stream finishes on Friday, because he's normally still live when we finish. And I want every single one of you, and I'll do it as well, to give him a single gifted, right? And if we can get to a point where the Great Hall can, and I'll talk about this tomorrow as well, the Great Hall can raid Mikey on Friday and give him 100 memberships, I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really nice, right? Anyway, it's time for Loose Fact.
The longest human nose belonged to Thomas Wedders. It measured 19 centimetres. He worked in a travelling show in the 1770s, and people said he had a nose for the business.
How many centimeters?
19.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
No, you're not measuring from there. You measure from there.
Yeah, still. This is what. That's bullshit. There's no fucking way.
Everybody should Google it, because Wikipedia has a very accurate drawing of it.
There's no way. There's no way. What
And
was
it
it?
has to be gospel, because photographs weren't invented.
Part of
yet.
the travelling circus. What was he? A fucking elephant?
It was a circus.
No way.
Curiosity.
Look at the fucking size of that honker. There's not a fucking chance. This is where my finger is. There's not a chance.
Google it.
Chat's not having this at all.
There is a historically accurate drawing on Wikipedia, because we didn't have photographs, so I believe it. The internet. If it's on the internet, it happened.
7.5 inches, chat. 7.5 inches. Not a fucking chance. Not a chance. Look at this. No way. Bullshit.
Nose way.
No way. Chat's not having this one tonight, by the way.
Mordy, Google it. Honestly, he's Googling it.
I'm not Googling that. That's one hell of a honker. It's not true. Not true. There's no way. The second you said 19 centimetre nose, I was like, loose. Loose fact. Absolute loose fact.
I have it on Google, because I was like, what would that even look like? And it's pretty funny.
Is it an actual picture?
It reminds me of the Plague Doctor's mask.
Is it an actual picture?
It's a drawing.
Of course.
They didn't have photographs.
Of course. Of course.
Drawings are real. Somebody really
Is he
drew
a
this.
real boy? A nose and length of a bolt pistol range? Doubtful. Oh, I feel like they not only didn't have photographs back then, but they also didn't have measuring implements.
It's a big schnoz.
Yeah. I feel like I looked at it. They wouldn't have had.
Alex, I bet he was married.
They didn't have precision engineering, so I reckon someone looked at it and went, it's probably about 19 centimetres, isn't it?
Here, Thomas, give us your nose.
Yeah.
We need to measure this. A bit like the cricket temperature thing.
Did centimetres and inches even exist in the 1770s?
Like 2 of those.
I feel like they wouldn't have even had the measuring implementations.
That's it. That's probably it. Two index fingers worth.
Google says 8.8 centimetres for the record.
Well, clearly they're forgetting about Thomas.
I think Thomas is
Clearly.
bullshit, Lise. And this is what I was talking about with this fact book, right?
Senak, drawings are real. Have you seen medieval cat drawings? I'm Googling that right
Here
now.
is a fact from the 1770s where they didn't have measuring implements or cameras.
Cat.
And we're going to present it as truth.
Oh my.
I found the picture. Not a chance, says Lord of Cinder.
Google medieval cat drawings.
No,
They're
I'm okay,
pretty
thanks.
good.
I'm okay, thanks.
It's people's faces on a cat.
Okay, right, anyway. We're 10 minutes over. I've got to clean the kitchen still. Thank you so much, you beautiful people, for hanging out with us. You're amazing. We love you. We're hoping there's a Liam and Joe show tomorrow at 13:30, depending on how his doctor's appointment goes, whether he gets across in time. I'll keep you posted. Otherwise, there is a live game of, 40k tomorrow night. I think Joe wants to bust out his Chaos Space Marines again. And Bron will try and play anything that's good now, apparently. So look forward to that tomorrow evening at 7:30. And then Friday at 8:30, we have 40k After Dark to round out the week's streams. You're amazing. We love you. Thank you so much. Anything you want to say, by the way, before we go? I always forget to ask before I start winding it up. So.
No, I'm okay.
Oh. Best chat.
Best chat.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you
In the next one. I've been waiting to do that for like a month. I've had such a nice day. Oh. Ah, that was good. I can't stop laughing about
No, I've
it.
noticed. I'm waiting. That's clearly you're showing it.
Oh. Best chat.
Best chat. Luce may or may not be present on Friday. A beat her in her fucking 19cm nose. Luce has been on the gin. Not.
No.
All right, I have to wait for Star Pilot Super Chat to come through now as well. So, let's wait for this one. Right now. Right now. We'll just keep waiting for Sam. We'll just sit here and wait for Sam.
Come on, Sam.
Come on, Sam. Amy does this every time. Every time we go over 9 o'clock, Amy's like, yeah, I'm clocking out.
Yeah.
Love you both. Thanks, Alex. Love you too, man. Love you too. Right. Come on, Sam. I'm going to start fining people for late super chatting. Come on, I want to go to bed. I've got to go to the gym in the morning.
I've had such a nice day.
Have you? That's good.
I attacked my fabric pantry.
7.5 in? That's 7 in longer than my overweight noses.
I think that would be true for most men. Sam, thank you. You've had a good day. I've finished playing on my gash.
Oh, you nearly caught that then.
It's fucking cool, isn't it?
How are you going to get that to the studio?
Carefully.
You might have to get Joe to sit in the passenger seat and hold it.
No, it's all right. So what I'll do is I'm gonna magnet the base, and then it'll stay in place.
Okay.
Such a fucking cool model. I finished him, which I was really happy with. He's been in my garage. I've attempted building him now 3 times. Today was the 3rd time, and he's been in the garage in various states over the last 2 to 2.5 years. And I bought that model before I even wanted to play AOS, just because I wanted this model because he's fucking so cool. And I started, but he's actually not the easiest thing in the world to build. He's quite easy to build, but all the swirly bits that get connected at different points are a bit more fiddly. What a fucking incredible kit. I got him built. I chilled out down here. We had pizza. It's been. I feel a little bit more relaxed right now.
I feel like your brain's gone.
Yeah, I almost didn't stream. I said to Thane today, I was like, I'm almost tempted to just take a night off, but I don't want to. I've got this weekend's a busy weekend, but next weekend is a completely clear weekend. I've got nothing planned. I've got no friends coming over. I've not got any plans to go anywhere. And at the moment, I'm attempting to keep it the same way. I'm going to keep it the same way in the hope that I actually get to a weekend of 2 days of completely clear calendar. The difference is actually, because of AOS right now, my mind is going, I can paint on those 2 days and find it relaxing because I'm enjoying it right now, which is quite good. I thought you said my gash. I did. That's exactly what I said, Lord Billy. Exactly what I said. My gash. Same as we don't call L'Ariel, we call it Areola. Areola is her name, right? Cool.
Isn't
right.
that part of the nipple?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is a she, so it fits.
Okay.
Cool. Anyway, again, we're now a little bit. Lord Croak's a prick like that. What do you mean? I have Nagash in my pile of shame at the moment. Looking forward to building him someday. He's a bit of a pain to build. But when you've got him built, he is one of the hardest portions. Is these ghouls attached to his staff here. The attachment point is a bit of a weird one, and it comes all the way up from round here. That was a bit of a fuss. This one, getting the book to attach to the right place, was a bit of a fuss. The backpack is shit for cleaning off mold lines. The book is hard to fit if you put it in after the shoulder pad. That aside, what an incredible model he is as a centerpiece for an army. I'm looking forward to painting. Oh, and I snapped one of these and had to repair it. Those little tassels at the front. I had to repair that. And I've sanded it down today, so I don't think once it's painted you'll see the repair, which is quite good. Anyway, what an incredible fucking model he is.
You can sign off now. I won't say anything.
What are you doing?
I'm not going to say anything.
Why are you covering your mouth?
So I don't say anything.
We're just staying on air. I don't trust you now.
Do you want me to leave the room?
You lot are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.